I recently read a stat that said that 79% of all young adults feel lonely. Now, this is a higher number than ever been recorded, and a lot of it is obviously due to what we went through the last few years with the pandemic and having to stay at home and social distancing. But really, experts have been studying this whole idea of this epidemic of loneliness for a long time, and people of all ages feel lonely. And I'll tell you what, there's also this big trend as people come back to the office to work and people are used to working remotely, where people talk about the fact that they don't want to go to live events, they don't want to go to networking things, they don't want to go to industry lunches, and numbers attending conferences are still down quite a bit. So whether you're a young professional or an older professional like myself, I think that business networking still matters to bring you career opportunities, but also to help you feel less lonely. Let's face it, we meet so many of the people who we socialize with at work. And if you're working from home and logging on and just chatting by Slack or doing a couple of Zoom calls, human beings are still wired the same way. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, most people still need to have some form of community. They need to feel connected. And in order to succeed and find limitless opportunities, I believe there's three things we need to have more of, and that's community, collaboration, and conversations. And this is why getting out and getting involved in your industry trade association or other community and civic groups really can help you. I mean, look back throughout all of business history, people have often found opportunities because of the connections that they had. I have found, and every survey I've ever read backs this up, that when you have diversity inside your company, both with the workers, with the managers, with the C-suite, and with the board, companies that have a lot of diversity make more money. And aren't we all in business to make more money? Isn't that what we want for ourselves and for our companies? So we want to have diversity. We want to bring people together, but we can't bring people together if we're living in a little siloed bubble and just having a Slack channel chat with a couple of people who we consider to be like us and share all of our opinions. So I'm a real big believer that we need to get back to this idea of bringing people together and having that community so that people can meet and network and grow relationships and find ways to like, trust, and respect each other. And when that happens, people can be accountable to each other. When you have trust and accountability in a relationship, now you can collaborate. And when you can collaborate, 1 + 1 = 3, more things happen. So we need to get together. We need to have that trust and accountability so that we can have the collaboration. And then we need to have real conversations. Let's not be scared to talk to people about things. Let's not get offended if somebody believes something different than us. Let's try to understand, why do they believe that? You know what? Maybe they're idiots. Maybe they're wrong. Have you ever met somebody and maybe it's a political difference that you have and you think, how can they be so stupid? They might look at you and think the same thing. And you know what? You're not always right. The older I get, the more I learn I'm not always right. However, when we can have conversations and just be respectful, doesn't mean we have to like their point of view, doesn't mean we have to believe their point of view. However, if you can learn, where do they come from? What experiences have they had in their life that brings them to this place? That's where a conversation can open things up. My parents, one was a Democrat, one was a Republican, and it never was an issue. In today's world, people say they won't date anybody who voted for a different candidate. I don't know. I'm off on a tangent, but you know what? Tangents are sometimes fun when you do a YouTube video because you never know what you're going to say. And people are going to leave things in the comments and say, Thom is an idiot. Why is Thom wearing glasses this morning? Why is he talking quietly? Well, you know what? There's a lot of reasons for all of those things because I'm recording this really early in the morning. I'm being quiet because my wife is still asleep and I'm wearing glasses because I haven't put my contacts in yet. But maybe you wouldn't have known that if I didn't have a chance to tell you. So let's go back to the purpose of what I'm talking about. And that is that getting involved in your business community can help you find more opportunities, and it can help alleviate the loneliness that so many people are feeling in today's society. Now, during the pandemic, I have a friend whose son, his company told him you can live anywhere now. Everybody can be remote if that's what they choose. So he moved his family from the Silicon Valley to Tahoe, where they owned a really nice house. They wanted to raise their kids in a quieter area. And then a year and a half later, he didn't get a promotion that he thought he should have gotten. And he was really bummed. In fact, he was really upset. And he talked to his boss and he goes, I thought we had talked about this. I thought the job was mine. And the boss said, well, you live in Tahoe now. And the person who got the promotion, she's in the office every day. She interacts with everybody. She goes to happy hour afterwards. And he said, I thought this wasn't supposed to hurt me if I lived remote. Everybody was welcome to do it. And the boss said it didn't hurt you. But being away from the office, not being part of the community, it doesn't help you. So now he is waiting for the lease to expire on his house in the Silicon Valley, and he's moving his family back to the San Jose area from Tahoe because he needs to be around the company in order to be able to have the career he wants. Now, is this fair? Is it fair? I don't know. Is it? However, it's the way the world works. People still do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. And the only way you're going to get to be known, liked, and trust is if you get around people. Human relationships are formed because of shared experiences. You can watch this video all day long, but we're not having a shared experience because I recorded this hours ago, days ago, heck, maybe years ago. We need people. We need to have that interaction. We need to have some fun. And when you're around people and you can build those relationships, you start to find a little more joy inside of yourself. Now, I'll tell you, for me personally, sometimes I wonder where the joy has been. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that the social interactions that we've had have changed over the last couple of years. Joy for a lot of people comes from feeling that sense of community, from having those conversations, from having friendships, from feeling you're part of something bigger than yourself. So I'm going to give you a piece of advice, and you don't have to follow it. You don't even have to remember it. In fact, I bet most people have clicked off of this video by this point, but you're still here. So here's my piece of advice. Take the next year. Join 2 networking groups in your industry that are local to your community and go every single time they have an event. Most groups have a monthly event. Some do a little bit more sporadically, but make sure you show up in person. Also, if they have an online component, participate in the chat, but don't just be an online participant. Make sure you're going in person. Volunteer to help organize the event, to work the door, to do something interesting. And then the people who you meet, follow up with 1 or 2 of them every time you go to an event and say, hey, let's go to have lunch. I'd like to learn more about you and your business. If you do this for a year, and at the end of the year, you don't feel more connected, if you don't feel like there's some opportunities out there for you, then you can send me a comment that says, you're absolutely wrong. But if you show up with a spirit of, this is for me, but it's also for them. I'm not just here to give me your business card so I can sell to you. No, it's like people who on LinkedIn who send you a friend request, and then the immediate thing they send you is this big pitch on why you should buy their product and service. You know what I do with those people? I delete them. I block them. You shouldn't just be selling to everybody. Find a way to help somebody. You know what? Help people with what they're trying to achieve. Help them find things. I find it interesting on my podcast that I will interview people and I'll say, hey, you can promote the thing. And they're like, oh, I don't promote other people's podcasts. I just promote my stuff. Well, awesome. But if you're not helping other people, if you're not there to be part of a community where all the ships get risen by that rising tide, then you're just going to find yourself always struggling. I'll tell you what, I would rather be rich in people than rich in money, because at the end of the day, there's something in your soul that is craving for those connections. Now, you might be watching this saying, no, people all suck, or I don't need people. Great. And you're different than I am. And you know what? That's awesome. And I respect that. But I think that all opportunities come from people for a reason. It's because we need each other. And I've rambled on this video early in the morning because I wanted to try something different on a video. I wanted to do something that didn't seem like I had all the answers, because I'm going to let you in on a secret. I don't have all the answers. In fact, I have many less answers than I often thought that I did. Life can be really hard, but I'm learning that what makes life less hard is having really key people. I believe that adding one person to your inner circle of friends and business colleagues and connections is more powerful than adding 1,000 people to your LinkedIn or other social media. Think about that. Adding one person to your inner circle is more powerful than 1,000 people on your LinkedIn. I really believe that's true. And in my own life, I've seen it come back over and over and over, where the opportunities don't come from people that I only have likes, links, shares, and follows with, but the real opportunities come from people I have a human connection with. So that's this video. Do me a favor, leave a comment down in the comments below. Let me know if you liked this video better than other videos. Let me know that you saw what I was trying to say. And if you want to be nasty, go ahead, be nasty. That's about you. Have a great day.